There's a war going on, the books can't escape from the team. Cold the morning steam, it's time to break, run for cover. That's gonna cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott, running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. What? Ramon Scott, sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money. You know how we do it.
All right, and a pleasant good morning to you. Coming from the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas, this is Ramon Scott, and welcome to the Morning Steam Show for Tuesday, April 29th. It's big time playoff action tonight with 4 games in the NBA and 4 in the NHL. And it's time for Champions League as well tonight, everyone, with our first leg of the semifinals with PSG and Arsenal today, kicking us off on our sports betting day. How about that today, with Arsenal favored in game 1 of the 2-leg set? And we also have a full card of Major League Baseball today, and we'll cover the action here momentarily as we get ready to go. Hello, everyone in the chat. Thank you for joining me here on the Sports Money Network on a Tuesday, as we also have more programming for you today. We'll have our UFC preview today getting underway with VB MMA picks going off today at 3:05 Eastern, 12:05 Pacific time, as we'll preview this weekend's card from Des Moines, Iowa, with bantamweights, top 5 contenders, Corey Sandhagen and Davison Figueiredo here this week, as we see 2 top 5 contenders in the bantamweight division. We'll preview that one on VB MMA picks today, as well as 2 other fights as we get our MMA coverage here started this week on the Sports Money Network. All right. I want to thank everyone for joining me here today. Let's go to the chat and start to say hello to some folks. Got some steam rolling in here today as well, and we'll keep you abreast of any line moves and any headlines, which we do have actually here just moments ago. A little bit of breaking news, and it comes out of NFL, as we saw here just a few minutes ago. George Kittle signing a big 4-year, $76 million contract, re-signing with the 49ers, coming off back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons, and he's getting paid. George Kittle, the great tight end of the 49ers, here with a big contract signing here this morning. Also, Boise State finalizes the new contract for Spencer Danielson. He's agreed to a new 5-year deal that'll pay him an average of $2.2 million. He's got ways to go to catch George Kittle, but a little bit of college football news there as Boise State extends their football head coach. All right, let's say hello in the chat. Who is here? Who is joining us in the chat? It's Thomas Lewis. Everyone rejoice. Thomas is here. Good morning. Like this video. Subscribe to our channel, Sports Money, here on YouTube. He's been playing tennis, everybody. We've been sitting here for 10 days, worried off of our pants, so to speak, about our man. He's been playing tennis the whole time, and I'm playing tennis this morning too, with winners here so far today. Hopefully you guys are on board with some of the action here. We did send out overnight a few plays here as we got back underway at the Madrid Open, including Tommy Paul over Karen Kachanov here this morning was a winner with our VIP service here. Also, just moments ago, we did see Madison Keys advance over Donna Vekic here as well today. So thank you everyone for joining us. We also had some other. Let me see. I think we had a few other winners here. Iga Swiatek was able to get it done and cover the game spread here. So we did have Madison Keys here on our VIP service. That one was from yesterday. These are kind of running together here with the action in Madrid with the power outage in Europe yesterday. But a pretty strong day for yours truly with the picks on our free VIP service over at winnable.com. So I hope you're checking those out because on yesterday's card, we've already rolled it here a little bit with Keys, with Swiatek, with and Mira Andreeva over Starodutseva. Of course, that was yesterday, but just wrapping up the Monday card that we sent out with plenty of winners on there. I think one of them is currently I want to say it's in action now or just getting underway here anyway with I believe with Dimitrov and Burnley, they're going to resume action here momentarily. Dimitrov may end up winning this one here in a tiebreak. We did send it out minus 3.5 games, but we did come back earlier today with, I said, Tommy Paul there. And if you want to check it out, we've got 2 matches here. I think we're underway. Like I said, when we left the air yesterday, I thought they were getting ready to come back, but they were setting the times for today as action was canceled right after we got off the air there for the entire day. But they're back underway there in Madrid. So do have action here coming up momentarily. In some of those other matches, if you want to get down with my VIP plays, you can go over to winnable.com and there's some matches about to come up here in about 10 minutes with some of my picks over there. So, all right, that's just a little tease to get you to sign up. All right. Thank you, Thomas, there. Don't forget, like this video, subscribe to our channel, Sports Money, here on YouTube, the fastest growing sports betting channel on YouTube. Nuke is here today. Good morning. Robert McCormick is here as well. Want to say hello to Steve Elefterian here. Steve, thank you for joining me here. And looks like Shador, could he be headed to the CFL if he doesn't quite make it with the Browns? I guess he'd have to decide before then. Here. Jerry said Cleveland killed the Heat. What was I thinking? I should be kicked off the air for trying to come back on the Heat yesterday. After I said point blank on some shows yesterday and here also, I said the Miami Heat may be the most, how did I phrase it, unqualified team, the worst playoff team in NBA history, and I still tried to take them plus 9 points there, but it ends up being true there. Remember, Miami was a 10 seed, and no 10 seed ever make it. They're arguably the worst playoff team in NBA history, and even Coach Spoelstra said it was humiliating. And Jerry said they lost by 30. I think they lost by more than that. They were down by 60 at one point, and this was an historic defeat in the playoffs. If you add up all the games and add up what's going on, here comes some steam. And we'll get ready for this one. Maybe it's a little bit of a shocker here as we're getting some steam in the game between the Detroit Tigers and the Houston Astros with Reese Olson and Ryan Gusto. We're seeing some steam to the over here in that one. Today with Olson and Gusto today. It was 7.5 here. And now we are seeing it here go to, I want to say right now, 7.5 over with Olsen and Gusto there today in that one to get going there with following yesterday's win by Houston. And we'll preview that game coming up. All right. Let's see who else is here in the chat. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. Here's NYC Bar is in the chat as well. Velocuts, nice to see you. Thank you for your support today. We're seeing a match here come to an end in Madrid. I'm glad we're back going here in Madrid today after yesterday's uh, blackout. And yes, Dimitrov has won by just 3 games. We sent it out at -3.5. So we lost one here, but man, it seems like we're having a pretty good day so far over in Madrid. All right. Damon Waring here today as well. Good morning to Damon today. And Solo's here. Good morning to Solo today. Thank you for stopping by. Here's Trevor. Good morning as well. And Cinna figured it out. He's going with an 8-teamer today in the NBA and NHL. Stay tuned, Cinna. I'll be previewing every game, or at least making a pick on every game, for better or worse. And Nine Legacy says Sanders will be the number 1 quarterback for the Browns, and the Raiders should have taken him. Look, I am one of the biggest proponents of any of these shows of Shedeur Sanders here, but the writing is on the wall, unfortunately, for Shedeur. He'd have to make one of the most impressive. I don't want to say improvements. He is a great athlete. But these players that are drafted this low just don't make it. They just don't make it. They're not everyone's Tom Brady. You can't go in the 3rd round or the 5th round or the 7th round or whatever round and make it in the NFL. It just doesn't happen. And players that are drafted, quarterbacks similar to the position they're drafted in, Sanders, just don't make it. They really just don't make it. They don't put up many professional stats at all. You look at the list of players that Sanders would be compared to, and you'd laugh at the names that were kind of drafted the position and made any progress at all in the NFL. So, look, if any athlete could maybe do it, it might be this one. And maybe if it is a question of attitude, if you will. I don't know if it is. I think he's a fine young man. I think maybe it was misinterpreted. I'm not going to believe that he went in there with an entourage of cronies wearing headphones and ignoring the interview questions and stuff like that. I'm not buying it. But maybe more so, I'm just relying on the experts, the talent evaluators, when it comes to Sanders, that his type of game will not translate to the NFL. I want it to. I hope he does become the next quarterback of the Browns. I hope this becomes one of the most interesting stories for the next 10 years with Shedeur Sanders. I'm, like I said, and I tweeted this out. If everyone's going to be off this guy, I'm going to be on him. But at this point, history would say that he will not make it very much. But I'm glad Nine Legacy's on with me. I'm on team Shedeur Sanders. I'm rooting for him. I just don't think it happens to people taking at that level. That's all there is to it. It feels like. Terrell says, Ramon, don't bet on teams that are down 3-0 in a series. Probably right there. What was I thinking? Like I said, what was I thinking? I laid it all out. I said, look, this Miami team is one of the worst playoff teams in NBA history before the game. And I still went with it. All right. Terrell said he won it. He took that alternate line with Colorado and Dallas last night. And Nuke says it should be a best 3 of 5 in the first round. I think, yeah, Nuke, I can't disagree with that to a certain extent. But what happened was, if you remember the famous series between Denver and Seattle, and Seattle got knocked out when they had a really good team one time, that kind of changed. I think that was a game that kind of changed it for NFL to run the format like they do. Okay, Trevor says Dallas makes a major comeback. And Figured Out says he just needs a protect. Let's hope that's what it is. Let's hope there was something to that whole Colorado situation. We know there are limitations that they had, and why Sanders was the type of quarterback that he was throwing. Well, many passes behind the line of scrimmage to his great athletes, buying time a lot of times with his legs. But all right, let me go to the action here last night and see how we did and how you did with our picks. You guys beat me. Team Steam again got the best of me. I said take the Golden State Warriors last night, not here, but in some other faraway places. But you guys had the Houston Rockets, deservedly. You guys got the cover last night, plus that 3.5. Here yesterday, yes, I did have the over as my pick here on the show, but it was the Golden State Warriors with the win late last night. In case you missed it, Warriors get the win over the Houston Rockets in a thriller. Last night they win it by 3, cover the spread there by a half a point, or the Houston Rockets cover the spread by a half a point. I went with Golden State. I laid the 3.5. Shame on me. Warriors win by 3. Key win there for Golden State at home against Houston. Houston might be left for a dead right now, as well, maybe they were the worst 2 seed in NBA history. We'll see. It's not over, but 3-1. Golden State leading Houston in that other NBA series. All right. And here we go next to in the 9-leg. Who? Let me say hello to some other guys in the chat as well. Jerry Jones says he does have a bad attitude, and here is Twisted. Good morning, Fernando. Hello as well. He's ready for our action here today. And let's continue on with our coverage here of the NHL last night, as I had the Florida Panthers yesterday as my pick here on the show over Tampa Bay, and they crushed them pretty good, 4-2. Got the job done for the Panthers, and you look at right now, Florida with that lead in the Eastern Conference. All the series in the Eastern Conference are currently 3-1. Meanwhile, in the Western Conference, every game is 2-2. Every series, except for Dallas, of course, yesterday with the win over the Colorado Avalanche. It was Dallas. I had them here, and Team Steam had the consensus on the over. Great job, Team Steam, yesterday picking up the win. I had Dallas, of course, as I said there yesterday, as an underdog in that game over Colorado last night. All right, let's look also at some our light card in baseball yesterday as well. Few and far between again, but I did have the New York Mets here on the run line, and their smashing of Washington yesterday. We took the Mets here on the show. It was only 19-5 yesterday with that Mets win. Also, I had the Cincinnati Reds over St. Louis yesterday. Not many people did, but I did. Sometimes you trust the favorite here, Nick Martinez, with the win over Andre Palante. Also, I had the pick here on the show, winner under Athletics and Texas, as it was just 2-1 with Sears outdueling Corbin yesterday. Also, here want to say shout out to Joe T with the winner in the Miami and Dodgers game. He gave us his F the under total over of the day with Miami and LA. All right. Thanks everybody for joining me here. We just seeing some other action here. Concluding Svitolina and Danilovic. Svitolina leading here late. It's on serve. She won the first set 6-4, and Svitolina trying to grab a victory here over Danilovic. Probably going to leave me a little bit short. I sent it out at minus 3.5 games, but well, we'll see. But I'm either going to need Danilovic here to possibly get broken here in the last set, or it's going to need to go another set with a blowout. All right. Say hello to some more folks, and then we'll get started here. The Shannon Moore is here today as well. Jerry says, should there be an arena football? I think the Canadian Football League is a realistic situation. I don't think Shadur would ever consider playing in arena football. Maybe should have stayed in college though, huh? Caps, good morning. And Nuke, he said his NHL is toast, with Tampa in trouble, maybe in Colorado in trouble as well. And Terrell, I don't know, Terrell. I think you guys, I think it might be a little bit of a misunderstanding there when you're raised in a professional. And like I said, I mean, this man is raised to be a professional athlete. Just turned out kind of weird here. All right. That's it from everybody in the chat for now. Let me tell you, you can get more plays from me today. I'm going to give out a bunch of plays here on the show. I've handicapped them. I've researched them. I'm not throwing darts. But these are not my best plays necessarily. I actually look at the best plays, set them aside, and then I go with the next best plays to be here on the show, on the Sports Money Network, on this channel. And then I send out what I think are my favorite plays of the day over at winnable.com. So for just 56 cents a day, you can get those plays, and that's how you support me here on the channel. Sports Money Network. I come on here every day, do a little preview show with you guys, because this is what motivates me every day to get out of bed at 4 in the morning, 3 in the morning, whatever it is, depending how big the card is. And you know, make sure I've got all my favorite plays and handicap in there, and then recite them to you here on the show. And if you like that, then consider getting my better plays here over at winnable.com, if you know what I mean. Like I said, I already sent out some winners here with Iga, with Madison Keys, with Tommy Paul. So why not join me over at winnable.com and get some more plays, including some of my peripheral sports action that we don't preview every day, such as tennis, golf, my other plays. All right. Appreciate you listening to that. Go to winnable.com/Ramon and use that promo code STEAM. Thank you, folks. All right. And Nasty Nate likes the Cavs here to win in the second quarter today. Thank you, Nate. Thank you for everything that you do for me here in the chat. All right. I think that's going to do it for the promo there. Uh-oh. And we'll get started here with our previews today. Also, moments ago, just as I was coming on the air, there was some more steam I mentioned already, but there's been plenty of it. But San Francisco and San Diego getting some steam to the under here. Going to see 6.5s there. The juiced 7 unders were taken out there, and we're going to be looking at a move to the under here with San Francisco and San Diego today. Of course, the Padre games seem like long going under here, but do have a good pitching matchup there with Logan Webb and Nick Pivetta. All right, I got it here. All right, here we go. Let's get it rolling here. Thank you for joining me, everybody. I'm ready. Let's get started, shall we? Go to the NBA. We got 4 games on tap, and 3 of them could end tonight. All right, here we go. Oh, real quick, we've got steam coming in right now in the NHL playoffs on the Ottawa Senators. There's a move going on right now on Ottawa. We know Toronto here was about a buck 65 or so, but looks like they're going. The move is on here a little bit on Ottawa right now. I'm showing still a lot of $70s, $80s, $85. So maybe that move is yet to come in, but reportedly they're taking a dollar. They took a dollar 65 or so. What had happened was it had crawled up to about a buck 80. So that's what's happening here right now with some steam on Ottawa. It already had kind of gone up a little bit and then has been bought back here now. Okay, got it. Also, just as we were coming on the air here, it was Minnesota and Cleveland game to go over here with that steam. All right, we got to go. Man, have I really been talking here already for 15 minutes, more than 15 minutes? Man, I can't believe that. Let's get started, man. Do not waste any time with this schedule here today with the Bucks taking on the Pacers, and Indiana is about ready to close out Milwaukee here. It feels like today in this one, you've got the Pacers favored by 7.5 here currently, and the total 222. We're actually seeing plenty of 8s. We even see an 8.5 at some of the square books. Look, it's very upsetting, and nobody likes seeing a great star go down here with the injury to Damian Lillard. It's obviously very, very serious. I don't think we have it officially as a torn Achilles yet, but how many times have we seen these players at this age who get those Achilles injuries sometimes can't make it back? And we hope that's not the case for Lillard. I had mentioned a few shows ago before the injury that I thought Lillard looked a little bit tired out there and that maybe Father Time had passed him by a little bit. Look, we're never going to kick anybody to the curb, but when you're playing at an elite level and you start to tail off, that's why people retire, because they're not able to keep that superstar level. Of course, you got a lot of players could continue playing at less than superstar ability, but they often retire at that point. Not for Lillard. I mean, he's trying to extend his career a little bit here, but just a really heartbreaking injury there in the last game, before the last game, and now Lillard gonna miss tonight, of course, and will be on a rehab here for sure moving forward. Interestingly, his status I don't think has actually been revealed by Milwaukee here at this point. So kind of tough to speculate that he truly is seriously injured, but that is the news, the feeling and the news at this point that Lillard is done for the season with that injury. So, all right, but that's neither here nor there. This season is almost over for the Milwaukee Bucks because the Pacers have pasted these guys so far in the series, and now they're favored by a considerable margin. I would expect the Pacers to go on and defeat the Bucks here tonight and probably cover. Here they're up 3-1. Let's see what you guys have in this one. We can break it down certainly a little bit because Milwaukee, we keep talking. Hey, they're 18 and or 12-6 against the spread in their last 18 games. They weren't playing anybody down the stretch. When they had that winning streak at the end of the season, they were playing almost all the also-rans this season. So really wasn't a great finish for Milwaukee. And hey, they got a win in this series, but despite the fact they've won 9 of the last 12 games, they are limping to the finish line here and probably headed for Cancun after this one. Pacers have covered 4 of their last 5 games here, including those in this series. here. Yeah, they did lose 2 games ago, 117-101, as Milwaukee got the win uh, at home against the Pacers, but the Pacers have won and covered the other 3 games. 9 of the last 13 meetings between these two teams have gone over, and it's pretty much been the Bucks' poor defensive, um, you know, abilities right now. They're just not playing good defense, making the Pacers look pretty good here. A little bit of injury news though in the game, I believe. Let me see. Let me pop that up here. Ben Matterin is questionable for the game. He might have trouble making this lineup actually here today, but Tyler Smith of the Bucks is doubtful as well. But Lillard is the key injury. Let's go to the chat a little bit here with this one. I think we've got ready to go here. Let's take a look at what the chat has to say. Thanks, everybody. And we've got Nate won that Cavs second quarter, of course. And Nuke says, no Lillard, no chance. Gravy is here today. Thank you, Oldie, for being here. And Terrell says the Bucks won't lay down, but they still won't be able to cover. That's it from you guys in the chat. I'm on the Indiana Pacers for sure here. I'm taking the Pacers tonight as my play here on the Morning's Team show. I see him getting a double-digit victory here tonight. And I think that's it from you guys too. Basically, nobody willing to make a pick on this one. NYC Bar says the Pacers do close it out tonight, but basically nobody's even picked this game against the spread. So not much interest from you guys here. I actually like the game quite a bit tonight. I'll take the Pacers up as my play here on the show. All right, let's move on now. Next up, here we go. 9 Legacy Pacers with the number. All right, we got somebody on the game at least against the spread. Thank you to 9 Legacy. All right, and now the Pistons are going to take on the New York Knicks in another 3-1 set. Here's the Knicks look to close out the Pistons here tonight. And man, the Knicks have done a pretty nice job here against Detroit. Detroit might have been the team that came in as kind of the newsy team here with their great season and the fact that they were able to win game 2 of the series and send a little bit of a notice to the Knicks because the Pistons had won that game on the road to make a series of it. But since then, the Knicks got that close win, of course, over the Pistons, 118-116 at Detroit, and then got the 1-point win there as a dog here as we head back to Madison Square Garden here tonight. Detroit just 1-5 against the spread in their last 6 games, 1-3 in this series, obviously, against New York. New York has won 16 of the last 20 meetings between these two teams, and the Knicks have done a nice job covering those games as well. Pistons also on a good cover streak, covering 3 of these 4 games, obviously. 10 of the last 15 meetings between these two teams have gone over, interestingly enough, although the Knicks have gone under in 9 of their last 13 overall. Detroit's gone over in 4 of their last 6 games here. This series has alternated over-unders here at this point, with the last game going well under here at this point. But is that it for Detroit here tonight? And if so, I would think that would result in a high-scoring game here for New York. Detroit really, I think in the end, it will show that Detroit is not playing a championship level of defense, and that will be their shortcoming here a little bit. I think in this series that will end them, sending them out in the first round on an incredible season. However, for Detroit, making their return to respectability, there's no doubt about it. 6 of the last 7 meetings between these two teams have gone over when the Knicks have been the favorite. Detroit also really struggles here towards the end of the season against good teams. That's where they were having trouble on their schedule late in the season as well, not playing well against the good teams. And I think we definitely can put the Knicks here in the good category, as they will likely advance in the playoffs tonight. The matchups will be, should these teams advance, the Knicks will play the winner of the Boston Orlando series, and the Cleveland Cavaliers would end up playing the Indiana Pacers. All right, let's go to the chat in this one. This is Jeopardy! Let's get the scoreboard back up here. All right. Going to the chat right now to discuss with you guys what you guys have. Not much coming from you guys here today, but we do have Pacers to close it out, says NYC Bar. Fair enough. And on the spread here, 9 Legacy willing to lay some more points. Thank you to Joe for that winner last night in the game between Miami and the Dodgers. Dodgers looked like they were cruising, and then that grand slam tied the game up. That gave Joe the winner, and that gave the Miami Marlins a chance in that game. Dodgers ended up walking it off with my man Tommy Edman with that game-winning hit. NYC Bar says New York wins, but he won't lay the points. Here's Shannon on the over in this one. I'm with Shannon. I'm taking the over here tonight between Detroit and New York. That's the way I see it too. Here, if the Knicks are going to close them out, I think it will be a high score. There's Robert saying, a lot of people say, in closeout games, take the under, but I'm more of a game 7 under type of closeout. Jermaine does like the over with me as well. Over is getting some support here. Nobody said under. It's almost a consensus. And Terrell says Hardaway to go over on his prop. All right. Thanks a lot to Team Steam Chat. I guess that's it for you guys here. And I'm going to take the over in this one as well as my show play here. Okay. We're going to keep it moving here right now. We've got Nate in the chat. And, interestingly, with these start times today, we had the first game going off at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 Pacific, so that we can have, the game between Orlando and Boston is an 8:30 start. Hey, Will Johnson here today. Hello, Will. But you do have the Celtics here favored by 12 over the Orlando Magic. What is it? Just another regular? Well, the total's 200. And why not? The way these two teams have been playing it this season. 8 of the last 12 meetings between Orlando and Boston have gone under. Boston doesn't lose really to Orlando at home. They've beaten them in 5 straight, 6 straight, I think, at home actually right now. Orlando does come in as a good cover team, having covered 6 of their last 9 games. Coming into this one, Orlando actually have covered 9 straight times when coming off of a loss this season. Speaking of being impressed, right? I think we have been impressed by Orlando, although their season is due to come to an end here tonight at the hands of the Celtics. But can the Celtics cover a dozen points against this hard-trying Orlando team that was able to cover one of the losses here? Remember, they were a 10-point dog, and they lost by 9 here in Boston back in game number 2. Also, Boston here obviously coming off the win 107-98, getting the money by 1 point last time out. It was the Orlando game. I'm sorry, the Orlando game was what was the game that they covered? 95-93 at home as a 6-point dog back in game number 3. Get it straight, Ramon. Boston's won 8 straight playoff games at home, and Also, Boston here has lost just 3 of their last 20 games overall, but Boston's still just 18-23 as a home favorite this year. But Orlando's wasn't a great dog actually, going just 14-20. But credit to Orlando, that defense is really what's kept them in. Uh, you know, really what made a great season for these guys right now. They're just overmatched, of course, against the Celtics. And we'll go to the chat here. Orlando's gone over in 6 of their last 8 games on the road. And here come the comments from the chat here. And let's see here. 9 Legacy did end up on the Pistons on the spread. Will Johnson says, "Do you do player?" I do, Will. I just don't. I don't really send too many player props out. I do when I go on some of the shows. I will go with the player props. Just don't do too many on the show here. I basically just stick to sides and totals on this show, but I'm usually knee deep in props by the time I get rolling. And for me, my prop betting is probably 1/10 of a game pick. So if we're doing, I don't know, I'm a modest bettor. I know you probably think I'm a high roller here, looking all rich in the studio, but say we're betting 1 unit, if it's a $100 play or whatever, my props are really just 1/10 of that. So it's not of any interest in giving a bunch of props out if I'm just betting peanuts, if you will, but I bet them so heavy. I just play high volume in the props. I'll give you one though, in the one that I have played already, and this one I actually played for. What can I say? I played for $20. Duran over 11.5 rebounds in the Detroit Knicks game. I think, like I said, in props, I'm betting 10 to 20% of the what I might be betting on a side or a total. If I'm betting, one or two bills, if you will, on a side, betting 10 or $20 on the props. But usually in the big game, in these bigger games, I love to have action. So I'm pretty much looking at every player if I can, and then I'll have a bunch of prop. For example, so far in the Clippers Denver game we're going to get to, I've bet 4 props so far in that game. All right, let's continue. Let's see. Shannon's on the Magic here, and JW, he is also on Team Shador Sanders, but I have to disagree with it. I just look at history. I'm rooting for this guy. I hope JW is right. I'm not ever going to say our man JW is wrong, but this would be if, for example, what JW says, and JW should make sure that if you have a great position on something like this, you better go and say this affectionately, you better spout it off, JW, because you want to be right in the end on this. Because, like I said, players drafted in this round never, ever, rarely, ever succeed. Basically, you have maybe a few quarterbacks that even have had any professional success at all. Quarterback is, what can you say? I mean, you take these elite quarterbacks, and that's what you need to do. You got to take the first rounders, second rounders. All right. NYC Bar says Boston can't lay the points, though, with that one. Celtics have the experience and discipline to blow out the Magic here. And 9 Legacy says Celtics on the spread, Clippers on the spread today. And I think that is going to do it for this game now. Maybe I should make a play. I'm on the Orlando Magic. Where's Nate? Nate did not go with anything in this game. Interestingly, has not said anything. So maybe Nate might be favored. I don't want to say it. I don't want to put it in words in his mouth. But usually by now we've got Celtics smash second quarter. So maybe even Nate, our Celtics homer, is concerned about covering this spread tonight. But I will take the Orlando Magic for sure tonight here against Boston to hang in there. Yeah, and Terrell says, and it'll be too easy for those folks, right, Terrell? Like I said, if everyone's going to be against this guy, that's when I'm going to be on him. All right. All right. That's going to be it for that game. Let's go to the final game of the night. Man, we're cooking along here. Uh, Clippers taking on the Nuggets. And look at the Clippers, a favorite in this game on the road here by not only one, they're favored by 1.5 or two at this point. And I know the Celtics game, you guys, I didn't bother changing the total there. It is 198.5 down there right now. And also the Knicks graphic, I had the spread, the totals. I had them too high there, you guys. I didn't update them. Magic and Celtics was 198.5. I'm not doing my job here. Maybe even 198. I'm showing 197.5 now at Bet Online, juice to the over, but and that Pistons Celtics total was down to 212. I was giving it out back there at 214, but we know it's 212. Okay, here we go with this one. Clippers. I'll call them 1.5, but we're seeing twos out there right now. The total's definitely around 208 here in this one between the Clippers and the Nuggets. This one's tied at 2. It's not 3-1 or anything, but Clippers attracting all sorts of attention here right now as if they were the favored team in this series. I guess they are. Now, when you look at the current betting odds in the futures of the series here right now, the series prices, the Clippers are $1.75 in the series right now. So let's see why that is the case. And maybe, because of the fact that they played so well in this series against a Nuggets team that's far more established here at this point. But this might be the moment for the Clippers here. Although Denver, remember, won the last game 101-99 at home. Clippers got the money, of course, there. Clippers won game 3, 117-83 in a blowout at home. And also they won game 2 here at Denver, 105-102. They also covered the spread in the first game here at Denver in a 112-110 loss, getting 3 points. Now they're favored. Denver is just 7-13 against the spread in their last 20 games. Overall, Clippers have covered 7 of the last 10 meetings between these two teams coming in. 5 of the last 6 meetings between these two teams have gone under here, and we're looking at a 208. We know the Clippers play a special brand of defense, and these two teams, I portrayed them as very deliberate offensively here, not willing to really get out and run here a little bit, right? 4 straight unders in this series so far right now, and the totals continue to drop every game. We went from 224 to 217 to 213 to 211 and now to 208. It's gone under every time, and will it go under again tonight now that we've reached new lows here in this one? Let's go to the chat. Nothing from you guys, really. Just Ramon makes the call is what it looks like here. But we do have a few. Let's see now here. Action Jackson's on the Clippers. Robert is on the under here. And that's it, maybe from you guys. Hello, Action Jackson. Nice to see you today. He likes the Clippers. Get this one down the road. And look, the moves on the Clippers here, right? From 1 to 2 at this point. All right. And for me, I'm going to be on the under. I've got 4 straight unders. I'm going under again. Now, this number keeps getting lower, but can they make it low enough? The last game went for 200 points exactly. The game 3 went for 200 points exactly. Game 2 was 207 points, and game 1 was 222 points in that one, but it did go under. So I think that might do it here for you guys. Not much, man. You guys are, dare I say, either not enjoying the show, although our numbers are way up in the views. Got 60 of you in here right now, but here's NYC Bar giving us one more Clippers play. Damon, Clippers and over. Thank you guys. I didn't mean to pressure you guys so much, but just seems like everyone's still scared of the NBA playoffs. Cinna figured out it's going to go over in the next game, and he's got a parlay with Pacers and the Magic plus the points, and the Nuggets under. At least somebody's getting involved There we go. That's we got 5 here. NYC Bar says Clippers are a consensus. We had Action Jackson. We had NYC Bar. We had Damon Waring on them. So NYC Bar makes the proclamation. Clippers as a consensus play. Hey, we needed one in the basketball to get the show started. Thank you, chat. You picked it up there a little bit, but I didn't want to say you guys were scared to bet these NBA playoffs. All of a sudden, no one wanted to bet all the ugly games at the end of the season. We get you the best games here, and you guys are already going off. And Jerry's just going to tail me. I'm going under here, and I'm going to be on the side here, probably at premiums tonight. That's it for the NBA. We might lose 3 series here tonight unless we get an upset. All right, let's move to the NHL. Here right now, and thank you, 9 Legacy. Look at these props. Jokic over 30 points tonight. Oh, I'm in trouble. My under is in trouble if 9 Legacy, look, he's already got right here. Now, these are the stars of the teams, but look, he's got basically right here 55, 80. He's got 100 points right there between these 4 stars. So, Nasty Nate says the Celtics will win the second quarter, and Derek Bop is here. And Will says Nuggets money line tonight, plus a little money. All right, good job. Maybe the Nuggets can get this one home. Does feel like the momentum is with the Clippers, but Denver's already grabbed 2 of these games. Granted, they won the 2 wins were by 2 points. So, okay, let's go to the ice. With the Senators taking on the Leafs. Here in this one, Toronto ready to close them out here today with Stolars. Is that right? In net here today, going up against Linus Ullmark. In this one, you have Toronto favored in this one, $1.70, 5.5 over at minus 115 here as we get ready for the action in the NHL here on Tuesday. We take a look at the 4 matchups here. Let's hear it from you guys. Get ready in the chat for your picks. Stolars comes in here with a 21-8-3 record, 2.14 goals against right now. And for Linus Ullmark, 25-14-3, 2.7 goals against. We know Woll questionable. He's had an illness here, so that's whether or not he was the better of the 2 right now. Anyways, here with the way that Stolars has been going, but Woll is on the injured list with an illness currently. So we do have Stolars here. It could be down to $1.65 at some spots, but the square books are actually much higher at $1.85 or so as we get into this one with Toronto here hosting Ottawa. Go ahead with your picks in the chat and I'll give you mine, but let's go over some of the numbers here in this series with Toronto. They did win the first 3 games, of course, in the series, 6-2, 3-2, 3-2, and then 4-3. Ottawa was finally able to get the win last time out at home to extend the series. Here a little bit. And let's talk some of the numbers. Maybe I'm a little tired here. Took in a Vegas show actually there yesterday, late last night, or not late last night, but early evening. Went over to the Sphere and took in a show. I knew that the Heat were going to get blown out, so I bopped on over the Sphere and saw a cool IMAX style movie, Postcard from Earth, there with the vibrating seats. And the best thing about the show was the aromas, believe it or not. They piped, this type of movie had It was kind of just more of a cinematic movie. It wasn't, a plot. There was a small plot to it, but this was more featuring the sphere and the IMAX and the giant uh, round screen. You're right there. And the best part I thought was the aromas they would send. For example, they would send you over like a grassy plain and you'd smell a grassy plain. They put you in a church and you'd smell like the wood and leather. And they put you in like a salt mine and you'd smell like I call it chemically, but you know what I mean. So it was a neat show. I don't do much. I don't leave the satellite studios during some games, but I did last night. All right, let's go here. Senators and Maple Leafs in this one. Toronto has actually lost. Remember, 5 of the last 7 meetings at home between these two teams. Ottawa had success against Toronto. This is one series where maybe you could give Ottawa a little bit of credit coming in, but after losing the first 3, they kind of went thump here. So still, they played well against them in the past here, but Toronto has now won 9 straight games at home. Their only loss in the last 9 games overall was the last game to Ottawa here. So Ottawa's done a nice job in that last game. They've lost the 2 previous games by just 1 goal here, but still, Toronto can close out Ottawa here tonight and advance. If Ottawa should advance here out of this game, they will go on to meet the winner of the Tampa Bay Florida series, with Florida leading there 3-1. So we'd get Atlantic Division, Florida there. A little bit of an upset so far, we know. Right now, folks, we are seeing some steam in the NHL between Minnesota and Vegas. We're seeing some steam to the over here. A series that has definitely been going over, not just right now, but also kind of long term a little bit. Minnesota and Vegas, they played a few overs in their head-to-head series over not just the postseason, but prior. So a little bit of steam here right now. We're going to see all 6s, I do believe, right now between Minnesota and Vegas. Once this total gets moving, it was 5.5 over 25, but it's likely to be 6 under 15 or 20 here momentarily. Let's go to the chat. The plays are piling up because you guys love hockey. All right, here we go. Let's see. Here is 9 Legacy says the Maple Leafs can close this one out on the puck line here, right? And we're seeing these empty netters a little bit, maybe more frequently in the postseason. Is that fair to say? And thank you to Derek Bopp for your nice comments there in the chat. And Will Johnson likes the Maple Leafs to win this one. Yeah, they're laying a big price here, no doubt. AOD says Pistons will come back to win that series in 7. NYC VAR is on the Maple Leafs. And Action Jackson, a prop for us here. He's got Anthony Stolar is over 24.5 saves. Action Jackson showing his Maple Leaf. And hey, since we've got the All Canada matchup here, we got Nuki in there, and did see in a stunning turnaround in Canada, the Liberal Party with the election victory last night maybe was expected now that things have turned in Canada a little bit, but man, a massive 25-point turnaround. Talk about comebacks. Comeback Carney is what they're calling him in Canada after the conservative Donald Trump apparently won the election for the Liberals in Canada is what's happened there. Yesterday, as Canadians had their federal election for their leader. All right, guess that's it though for this one between the Senators and Maple Leafs, and I'll have to make my call here in this matchup, and just want to make sure I don't with side and total here in this one. But I'm going to go ahead and try the under in this one with Ottawa and Toronto. Give me the under as my play here. I'm not going to be able to get um, any sixes on the general line. It's mostly 5.5 over, minus 115 for sure. I'll probably buy it up to 6 there. NYC Bar says the Maple Leafs are a consensus play. So I'll just leave it at that. Did anybody take Ottawa at all? Let me go back. It was NYC Bar, it was Will Johnson, and 9 Legacy. That's 3-0 right there. Good job, NYC Bar. No one took Ottawa. So uh, at this point, 3-0 constitutes a consensus, I guess. Look, if we were getting over 100 viewers, maybe we'd make it 4-0. But I think 3-0 is reasonable. Toronto is the consensus play. I'll take the under. Next up, Devils taking on the Hurricanes. The Hurricanes are 270. Like it's a regular season blowout. What's going on here now? Granted, the Hurricanes here ready to close out a meek New Jersey effort here. Look, New Jersey was able to get a win in game number 3 at home, 3-2, and other than that, they've really been blowouts. Considering for Carolina, 4-1 in game 1, 3-1 in game 2, and 5-2 in game 3. So that's kind of been the gist of it here as Carolina has exuded its dominance of this series. And maybe Carolina, could they be? I wouldn't call them a sleeper necessarily, but now with Washington having established control over Montreal, even though it was a little nice Montreal effort here, doesn't look like they're going to be able to upset the Capitals here. And now, pardon me, you guys, Carolina here can close them out up 3-1. First 3 games of the series did go under, but they did get that 7-goal outburst, 5 goals last time by Carolina in that blowout a couple of nights ago. Let's go to the chat and see what you guys want to do in this one. New Jersey has lost 9 in a row at Carolina, so that's probably a big part of this here coming into this one. Also, here you do have Carolina just 4-8 overall in their last 12 games, but they've kind of put that away here once they've reached the postseason and taken command of this series, ready to advance here tonight against the New Jersey Devils. Let's see how you guys are playing this one, game number 5 here tonight. I'll go to the chat and see what you have here. And Jerry went there last night. Didn't get those unders. Here he is, though, saying Canes on the puck line. Maybe. Robert, though, is official with his play. Carolina on the puck line here. Can't disagree. I kind of think Carolina should be able to take care of business. Want to give New Jersey a chance, but they just don't seem to match up very well in the series. 9 straight losses here is pretty significant, right? That's basically, 2 years, I guess, if you include the playoff series. So they just can't win here. Why would they be able to turn it around here tonight after having lost here 4-1 and 3-1 so far in the series? All right. Nothing much from you guys. I gave you a chance here. I got to take the Carolina Hurricanes as well to close it out against the New Jersey Devils here. NYC Bar on the Hurricanes. Are we saying these playoffs are getting too predictable, too boring here? All right, let's move on. Maybe we can go out west where things are a little bit more interesting with all the series. They're all 3-1 in the East. They're all 2-2 in the West. The West is perceived, right? Tell me if I'm wrong. The West is perceived as the stronger conference, right? Heading into or even right now here in the postseason. Is that the case, you guys? Let's go to Minnesota and the Vegas Golden Knights, as the Knights are minus 220 here in an even series right now. And Minnesota seems to be playing very, very well, even though Vegas was able to get the win uh, in game 4 on the road 4-3. Now remember, Minnesota ended up stunning Vegas with back-to-back 5-2 wins, one at home, one on the road, and it looked like what's going on here, Vegas Golden Knights. Now we are tied at 2. Things have kind of returned to normal here as the Golden Knights have recovered a little bit here now and taken back the home ice advantage in this series, which has made them now a minus 245 favorite as they will host 2 of the next 3 games if needed here in the series. Starting tonight as a 220 favorite over the Minnesota Wild. Vegas has won 7 of the last 9 meetings between these two teams coming in. 5 straight meetings between these two teams have gone, I want to say it's even more than that, isn't it? Have gone over between these two teams so far. All the games in this series were lined at 5.5, and they all had over 5 goals. In fact, the last 3 matchups have had 7 goals, and the first game of the series had 6. Rechecking the line right now, we're still not quite seeing all those 6.5 unders out there right now in this one. So, kind of interesting here at this point. Man, Minnesota's done a nice job. Let's see what you guys here. Shannon says Wild on the puck line. Yeah, man. Minnesota plus 1.5 minus $1.35 or so on this puck line here in this one. They've played well, no doubt about it, in this series. Hanging in there. They've actually covered the puck line right in 3 of the 4 games. Is that right? Yes. Yeah. First game they did not, right? In the 4-2 loss. Okay. Let's see how you guys want to play it here. Vegas has won 11 of the last 15 games. Their last 15 games at home. They're 13-6 in the last 19 games overall coming into this one. Minnesota just 2-7 on the road here coming in. But they did get that one key victory there anyway. And let's see what you have here. I'm showing Hill in net tonight against Gus. Hill, a 2.47 goals against average, 32, 13, and 5 record, 90.5 save percentage for Gustafson, 30, 19, and 6, 2.59 goals against, and 91.5% save percentage coming into this one. I'm going to try Minnesota here on the puck line tonight against Vegas. They've been hanging here in this series. So, Jerry, though, said VGK puck line nuke worker. The power outages have spread to Canada now. Look, we just had the big, massive power outage in Europe. Now we had one at Nuke's house. I'm going to blame Trump. NYC Bar likes the under in this game. He says all those overs in this. Pardon me. All those overs in this series are done with. Pardon me, folks. Here's Jerry, though, did say the over back there. Let me get that up there. And so I think Thomas just stepped in to say hello, get back to his pickleball or his tennis. But we do really, really appreciate him stopping by. We were worried. He might have told us that. You're right, you guys. He might have told us he was out. Okay, that's it for you guys here in this one between Minnesota and the Golden Knights. I'm going to take the Wild here on the puck line. They've been hanging in for sure. And I'm going to try them here tonight to hang in there with Vegas. All right, we got one more on the ice tonight here with The Oilers and the Kings. Well, we know how this one's been going. This has been over city between these two, haven't it? Man, these guys have scored a lot of goals in this series, as predicted by me. Anyway, so far, I think it's been 37 goals in 4 games. It feels like. I don't know if it's been that many. It has. 6-5. The Kings won, of course. Game 1, 6-5. And then they won game 2, 6-2. Then we came back to Edmonton. Edmonton won 7-4. And then Edmonton won 4-3. In that thriller the other night. So, interestingly, of course, Picard's been in there now, 22-10, 2.69 goals against, and a 90% save percentage. Darcy Kemper looked, I thought he looked pretty good in that game despite the loss here, but he's 31-11-7, 2.02 goals against, and a 92% save percentage. Kings favored in this one by $1.30. Total 6.5 under, minus $1.20 or so, maybe $1.25. But man, it's been goals aplenty in this series between these two. And don't forget, the Kings have a massive, massive home advantage right now with their record this season. Incredible home record here. Not home record, but home record. Los Angeles comes in having won 10 of their last 14 games overall right now. 5 straight meetings between these two teams in LA have gone over. 4 of the last 5 between these two in general have gone over, including, every game so far. Final. I'm not even going to bother reading them all off. Edmonton actually is a big-time under team on the road late in the regular season, but against these guys right now, it just seems like when Edmonton has needed the goals, when they've trailed in the games, they've come back and stormed past the LA Kings. The Kings led 3-1 in those, and Edmonton comes storming back. Remember, the Kings led 3-1 after 2 last game. Edmonton got those 2 incredible goals in a short time span to force the overtime and win the game. And the same thing kind of happened in game number 3 as well. As the Kings built that lead, they led 4-3 at the end of 2. They led 3-1 at one point. Edmonton got those 4 goals in the third period to go right by the Kings. But Kings at home have been so stellar. This almost feels like it could be 7 home victory. Maybe Kings in 7. Maybe Kings win them all at home. And they're all going to be high-scoring games, it feels like. I'm taking the LA Kings tonight. They are getting the job done at home here against Edmonton. Here we go. We've got Nuke says go over in this one. And NYC Bar says this is it. The Oilers will get this. If the Oilers get this one, I think they're going to win the series. And maybe the winner of this game wins the series. I'm taking the LA Kings here against Edmonton tonight. Robert's on the Kings as well. Again, Kings' best home record in the league this season. That's been the key for the LA Kings, is their success at home. Because, quite frankly, if you consider, granted, there are worse teams on the road out of the playoff, or out of the non-playoff teams. Here's Damon on the Kings. Shannon likes the under, but the Kings this season on the road were just 17, 20, and 6. I don't think any playoff team had a worse record this season on the road. Carolina was also pretty bad on the road, 17, 21, and 5. Ottawa also 18, 20, and 5, but they were a wild card. So I'm taking the Kings tonight, and that might be it from you guys in the chat. We're going to go to Major League Baseball if that's it. Thank you, everybody. Let's go to the major leagues here now. We've got a big schedule, so no more picks from you in hockey.
Final.
All right. Oh man, Cam Norrie was dominating that first set and he lost. What up, Cam? Terrible. That's frustrating. All right. Let's go to the major leagues. Did see some steam while we were doing the hockey segment here on the Atlanta Braves and Colorado Rockies. Steam to the over here was 10.5, juice to the over, but now we're seeing even 11s out there right now in the matchup between Atlanta and Colorado. Mostly 11 under or so in that one with Atlanta and Colorado. Atlanta actually, I think they're going to go with an opener in that game. Oh no, could be AJ Smith Shaver. That's it. Okay, here we go. Let's go Major League Baseball right now. And Nine Legacy did say, let's see, Hurricane, Vegas, Golden Knight, LA Kings on the puck line. Thank you, Nine Legacy. Here we go. Twins and Guardians here starts us off. And these two teams met yesterday, of course, and Minnesota got off to that hot start early, big lead early, and went on in the to crush in the game yesterday. But here you have Chris Paddock going for the Twins up against Tanner Bybee in this one. For Paddock, he's 0-3 with a 6.45 ERA, 273 BABIP so far. The Minnesota Twins are 0-5 with the Cowboy on the mound. For Tanner Bybee, 2-2, 5.19 ERA. Bybee hasn't looked that great yet so far. 1.42 whip. These guys have pretty gaudy numbers, but Bybee does have a 221 BABIP, so maybe he's pitched in a little bit of tough luck. Minnesota comes in now having won 4 straight games all of a sudden, and they're 13-16. Cleveland 15-13 coming in, and they're all of a sudden in a little bit of a slump, having lost 3 in a row. They lost the series to Boston, and they lost yesterday's series opener. These two pitchers are a combined 6-2-1 to the over so far this season. You'd expect better pitching from Bybee. From Paddock, I don't know if we're ever going to see any improvement from this guy, but maybe today it could be the game that we could see an under here. Maybe, though, I was stunned yesterday. Minnesota got off to such a hot start. I kind of want to bounce back with them here a little bit, but maybe at this price now, man. In fact, I'm showing this one down to $1.40 or so. It's definitely not $1.55. I'll call it $1.40. Call it $1.45, I guess, but some books we're seeing some significant movement, it feels like, on the Twins here. But man, that was a stunner yesterday. The Twins, maybe they're getting their offense going a little bit since they exploded for all those runs yesterday. We know the Twins have struggled offensively, but so has Cleveland. Minnesota averaged just 4.4 runs per game, but scored 11 yesterday. In the win, Cleveland has actually allowed 31 runs in the last 3 games overall. So they've been getting rocked here. They've been outscored 31-7 in the last 3 games overall. Meanwhile, Minnesota pitching is hot. They've outscored their opponents 21-2 in the last 3 games. Of course, they were playing the Angels. Minnesota's just 4-10 on the road this season. Cleveland is 8-2 as a favorite. Minnesota just 2-6. So getting a discount now here on Cleveland, but Minnesota with the stunner here yesterday. This one feels tricky all of a sudden. Here come the comments. Let's go to it. The one thing I count on is you guys with baseball picks. You guys love baseball. Cleveland money line here for NYC Bar. Cleveland for Luis. Roberts on the over here. And Jerry says, I've got to go under here. These pitchers have had some, is it some, and both show nothing happening? Does that mean, I know they faced one another. Maybe it means there's just not a lot of offense when these two starters have faced the respective lineups. Is that the case? I'll peek at it too. Now that my curiosity is piqued on the BVP in this game. Bybee, strong numbers actually against Minnesota. 179 batting average against, 317 slugging percentage here. Paddock, yeah, I don't see much for Paddock here. So, all right. And I'm going under actually in this game between Minnesota and Cleveland to give me the under. There is actually some 8.5 starting to pop up a little bit here now, but you can grade me at 8/15. That's okay. But I think you are seeing some 8.5s out there. Shannon's on the Yurfie, and Jermaine says he does not ever going to bat Paddock. Nine Legacy says these Twins bats are heating up in action. Jackson's got a prop on Bybee to go over in his strikeout prop. Next up, the Yankees are taking on the Orioles here. Carlos Rodon going in this one. Baltimore got the win yesterday over the Yankees. How about that? Man, that was a surprise to me with Sugano over the rookie Will Warren yesterday. Talk about this matchup here between Yankees and Baltimore, game 2 of the series after the win yesterday by Baltimore. For Baltimore, they came off of a 3-game losing streak to beat the Yankees 4-3 in the game yesterday. For this pitching matchup, you've got Rodon coming in here. He's 3-3 with a 3.5 ERA. He's gone under here in 5 of his 6 starts so far this season. For the Orioles here, Kyle Gibson returns. It's the return of Kyle Gibson. He's set to make his season debut here in this one against the Yankees on Tuesday. Kyle Gibson, how about it? For Gibson here, I think that's pretty big news as he comes in to join this Orioles rotation here. The veteran did win 15 games last year, no matter how you look at it for this guy, right? And where his career has been. He won, or not in last year, but 15 games for the Orioles back in 2003. He was with the Cardinals, of course, last season. So he's been tuning up in double A, in a single A ball era, actually, I think, so far this season. He's always gotten rocked by the Yankees. 3-7 with a 5.4 ERA in his career, but he did have a good performance against them last season. For Rodon, he's basically pitched the middle game of every New York series so far this year, and he's received a decision in all 6 of those outings. He's 1-5 to the under so far this season. 203 BABIP. Rodon's actually looked quite good. Looked good against Tampa Bay, looked good against Cleveland, struck out 17 batters, did walk 6, and he has had some homer problems for sure so far, but he seems to have calmed that down. He didn't give up any home runs in those games against the Rays and the Guardians. So he is 0-3 in his career against the Orioles. 6 starts, a 5.58 ERA. He's given up 6 home runs in 30 2/3 innings. And against this lineup, Rodon actually has gotten rocked pretty hard with 3 home runs against the current roster in 35 at bats, a 314 batting average against, and a 973 OPS. Let's go to the chat here. Of course, the big news for the Yankees is looks like they might be making a change in closer moving forward. Let's go to the chat here and see what you guys have in this one. And NYC Bar has New York. Will did not like the way the Guardians went yesterday. Here's 9 legacy Yankees run line. He had Baltimore yesterday. Jerry says the Yankees were hitting hard, just didn't work out. Trevor, Orioles money line. Damon went Cleveland and under. Hello to Textiles. Luis says Yankees run line here. We did see that one great catch, right? There in that game yesterday. That was supposed, almost a home run. The defense was incredible yesterday by the Orioles. And NYC Bar says Yankees are a consensus. Oh boy. Let's see. Are they really? NYC Bar. Luis is on the Yankees. Trevor's on the Orioles. 9 legacy Yankees. And that's 3-1. Like to see one more there. Did I miss one? Well, I'm showing 3-1. Let me look at it again here. Luis is on the Yankees. Trevor's on the Orioles. That's 1-1. 9 legacy on the Yankees. That's 2-1. And NYC Bar makes it 3-1. So okay, 3-1 it is. Consensus, I guess. That's 75%. So I'll leave it at that. You guys are on. Here's Orioles run line. Textiles, though, did give the Yankees that 4th one there. And Damon was run line, so that doesn't count against the consensus. So I now see 3-1. That's fine by me. Here between these two, you guys are making a consensus play. And Tex says he's always been fading Kyle Gibson in the past, huh? All right. All right. Let's see here. I guess that's it for you guys. I'm going to take the over here, and this one is my play. Give me the over with the Yankees and the O's. All right. Next up, Jerry went with the Yankees as well. Okay, Cardinals taking on the Reds. You've got Miles Mikolas going in this one. It's been rough for Mikolas, feels like so far. 5 starts, and the Cardinals have lost all 5 of those starts. Got a 5.7 ERA, 3.21 BABIP. He's 0-2 coming in, and he's up against Singer. Singer's gone 4-0 so far this season with a 3.29 ERA, 265 BABIP, 206 batting average against so far. Singer here $1.35, maybe $1.40 or so in this one against St. Louis. Singer's been good. He's gaining you over a half a unit per game so far. Mikolas, obviously, with the Cardinals 0-5 with Mikolas on the mound, hasn't been good at all. Here, costing you a unit a game, basically. Let's go to the chat in this one. Reds are 3-1 to the over with Singer. Cardinals are 3-2 to the over with Miles Mikolas on the mound. Cardinals have lost 2 straight here. They're playing in a lot of close games before, but right now they lost to Cincinnati yesterday, 3-1 in that matchup between Palante and Martinez. We had the Reds in that game. They also lost a previous game 7-1 to Milwaukee, although they did win that series. For Cincinnati here, they're on a winning streak, and good for them right now. Good job, Cincinnati, to win right now. Of course, they did sweep the Rockies, but it was a sweep on the road. Give them that much here. Let's see what you have in the chat in this one between St. Louis and Cincinnati. Cardinals are just 1-7 on the road in their last 8 games coming in, and Cincinnati's won 4 of the last 6 meetings between the two. Reds with this hot streak. Let's go to the chat, see what you have. With Action Jackson here's on the cards in this one. Luis is on the Reds run line. Trevor, Reds money line. NYC Bar, Reds money line. And Shannon Moore is on the Reds. This is what I'm talking. This is consensus. It feels like right there. 9 legacies on Cincinnati. Wow, big time here. Everybody ready to give up on the Cardinals all of a sudden. Yeah, maybe the pitching has everybody kind of thinking this is the way this one is going to go, right? That's a consensus play here for the chat with the Cincinnati Reds. Here, lay it, says the chat. Boy. All right. Well, if that's going to be the case, maybe I can move to the total here in this one, and I'm going to go under in this one between St. Louis and Cincinnati. Give me the under in this one. Next up, the Cubs are going to take on the Pirates here with Dog going for the Pirates. Man, Dog is looking good. The 1.72 ERA. Both teams coming in off a pair of losses here in this one. For the Cubs, they lost that series to Phillies 2-1. They've lost 2 in a row, and the Pirates lost twice to the Dodgers to close out that road trip, and now they head home with Heaney, 1.72 ERA, 0.76 whip, 165 batting average against. He's been spectacular, actually, it feels like here, going up against Shoto Imanaga. Imanaga comes in here with a 2.38 ERA, 192 batting average against, and a 105 whip so far. Both pitchers 2-1 so far. Cubs are 4-2 with Imanaga on the mound. Pirates just 3-2 with Haney, but these pitchers are combined 3-8 to the under so far this season. Yeah, Pirates averaging just 3.5 runs per game, and the Cubs are averaging 6 runs per game right now, but they're going up against one of the hotter pitchers, it feels like, in baseball at home in Heaney here. So look, Cubs are great, 17-12, looking good. Pittsburgh on the opposite end of the spectrum, but they do have their best well, not their best pitcher, obviously, but man, Haney's doing just a good job too so far. It's been the run production for the Pirates that's kind of keeping this team down, and they're going up against the firepower of the Cubs here in this one of the top offenses in the league so far this season. So how can you play this one today? Go to the chat and see what you guys have here with the Cubs on the road taking on the Pirates here tonight. Game 1 of this series. All right, go to the chat right now and see what's going on here with Damon went over in that Cardinals-Reds game. Luis starts it off. He's on the Cubs. And NYC Bar is on the Cubs as well. Here's Jerry, Cubs, first 5. Shannon's leaning towards the over. Jerry did go full game under, however. Terrell gives us that BVP here a little bit. Says Imanaga has basically owned Pittsburgh after Imanaga had a rough start, he says last time. Here's Action Jackson, Cubs run line. Nuke says the difference between these two pitchers is, it sounds like Nuke saying, the offense, right? Both these guys are pretty good. One gets run support and one is on the Pirates. Nuke says, give me the Cubs on the run line, and a little bit of plus money here in this one as the Cubs continue to mash. All right, that might be it from you folks in the chat here. Could note a little bit maybe about the series between these two. Maybe that could change things up a little bit, but I don't know. Cubs certainly playing much the best. Like I said, the records are practically opposite right now. All right, I guess I better make my call in this one. I'm kind of want to give the Pirates a chance just because of Haney in there, but Cubs are just playing too well right now. This price feels high. Guess I'll just have to take the under. That was going to be my premium play, but I'd like this game to go under. You get 8.5 right now. Yes, that Cubs offense is doing good, but if Haney continues to excel, he should keep him down in check a little bit early. 9 legacies on the Pirates here on the money line. I'll take the under in this one. The widely reported steam did come in on Pittsburgh. I'm actually have a price there listed that you guys, like I said, here's the Cubs are going to be on sale. Cubs are maybe minus $1.45 at most, but it's even lower than that here at a few spots. So I got to grab the under here at 8.5. The Royals are taking on the Rays with Tosh Bradley here in this one, going up against Michael Lorenzen for Kansas City. Lorenzen comes in here with a 3.9 ERA so far this season. Is there a time change on this? Am I put? Oh, okay. I'm missing a game here. Let me. I'm sorry, you guys. I think I've. Let me type in the right game. Sorry about that. We're gonna save this one. We're going order here since it's a 3:45. I've missed the Nationals and the Phillies. Typing it in here. What's going on? Bad move. Okay, here we go. It's going to be Mackenzie Gore going up against Zach Wheeler. And $1.85 here, it looks like, for the Phillies. The total is 8.5 under at minus 115. There we go. What's going on here? There we go. Sorry about that, gang. For Mackenzie Gore here, he comes in with a 3.34 ERA so far, but a 3.73 BABIP. Washington's 2-3. Washington's 2-4 with Mackenzie Gore on the mound. He's 2-3 overall so far this season. For Zach Wheeler, 3.62 ERA, a 101 WHIP, 293 BABIP, but 217 batting average against. Wheeler's 2-1. Phillies are 3-3 with Wheeler on the mound so far this season. See how you guys want to play this one here today with the Nationals and the Phillies here. Going to the chat, Phillies have won 2 straight coming into this one after beating the Cubs in the series on the road. Won 3-1 back on Sunday for Washington. They come in off of that 4-game set against the Mets. They were able to split those 4 games against New York. So good job by Washington there. Here come the comments in the chat. It's going to be NYC VAR on the Phillies here. Jermaine's on the over. Also, Jerry's on the over in this one. Luis says Washington run line, and so does Trevor. He's on Washington run line. All right, I'll make the call here as well in this matchup between Gore and Wheeler. And if you guys want to chime in anymore, let me know. But I think that's it from you guys in this one. And I'm going to take the under in this one. This one did get steamed up here a little bit to 8.5 from maybe some 8 overs, but it looks like it's been mostly 8.5. I'm going to take the under here in this one. Next up, Here we go. The Royals taking on the Rays with the typed in that graphic, and not much was going on there. It felt like, okay, let's go here with the Royals on the road with Michael Lorenzen, a 3.9 ERA coming in. And for Taj Bradley here, he's got a 5.08 ERA, a 3.03 BABIP. Lorenzen comes in, as I said, 2-3. Kansas City's 1-4 to the under with Lorenzen on the mound. Bradley's 2-1. They've gone 3-0-2 to the over with Bradley with that elevated ERA. Let's face it, so far the widely reported steam did come in on the under in this game. You do have two of the hotter teams in baseball right now coming in. Tampa Bay is on a kind of a long winning streak here for sure right now. Meanwhile, for the Royals, they also were on a winning streak before losing to Houston 7-3 on Sunday, but they did win that series over the Astros. So Kansas City comes in with a record here of 14-15. Tampa Bay 14-14. So these two teams even up pretty much so far. We'll go to the chat and see how you guys play it tonight between Kansas City and Tampa Bay. Let's go to the chat and see what you guys have in this one. Tampa's been hot. Not only are they winning, they're winning impressively in a lot of these games and held the Padres to just 3 runs in that sweep of my Padres. Rays came in and put the Padres to shame this past weekend. Here we go with the plays in the chat with Trevor, Tampa on the run line. An NYC Bar takes the Rays. Jerry says, check out this one in the Tampa Bay park there, right at Steinbrenner Field. Says the wind is blowing straight out in this one tonight. I will check it out here, I think. Let me look at it. Sorry, gang. I'm having trouble getting to the weather. All right, there we go. Oh, straight. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe Jerry was talking about. Is Jerry talking about the Phillies game? Because or has he just read it wrong? Oh, because he says Tampa on the under. Yeah, the wind is blowing in 16 to 18 miles an hour in from center field. Yeah, wind was the Phillies game. This one actually is exactly the opposite. 9 legacy at the Phillies. I probably didn't spend enough time on that game. Let you guys get the picks in. Jerry went under. Luis is on the over here. And Pat, let's see. Jermaine says you got Paddock, you got Herman Marquez, you got Mikolas, 3 of the top 5 pitchers in money. Yeah, right. Paddock hasn't won yet, obviously. All right. Kansas City and Tampa. I'll go ahead and make my call, I guess, here in this one. Maybe not necessarily a consensus from you guys here, but I think I'm ready to go. See what you guys have here, but man, I kind of want to play the Royals here in this one. I think I'm gonna give me the Kansas City Royals here tonight in this one as a dog. Okay, and let's see, as the price has probably gone down a little bit, $1.50 or so. Okay, next up, Garrett Crochet and the Red Sox. Crochet coming off that rough outing last time, but still good numbers, 1.95 ERA coming in against Bowden Francis. Good pitching matchup here. Francis, 3.58. Earned run average coming in, but a 4.23 ERA. Crochet, good numbers for sure. 182 batting average against, 105 BABIP Red Sox. 1-2 straight following their series win over Cleveland. They outscored them 20-6 over on Saturday and Sunday here for Toronto. They lost 2 straight to the Yankees after winning the first game of the series. Were outscored 16-3 in those final 2 games of the set here. As we got the steam came in on Toronto. Crochet was as high as $1.60, but now he's all the way down here to $1.40 or so. Yeah, this line is just incorrect, typo, I'd say. Let's call it $1.40, and the total here is actually 7.5 over 20, maybe over 15. There we go. This is more accurate, gang. Sorry about that. For the matchup between Boston and Toronto. Toronto's gone under in 10 of their 18 games so far this season. They're 6-12 to the under as an underdog so far. For Toronto here, though, still, despite this little bit of a, the win, if you will, last time in that last series, they've still lost 7 of their last 8 games. I know the Toronto fans are kind of down on them a little bit right now, but they still have won 7 of their last 10 games overall here. 8 of the last 10 meetings between these two teams have gone under. It feels like a good pitching matchup. Toronto won that last series between the two when the teams met just a few weeks ago, if you remember. Toronto won 3 straight on the road at Boston, and the pitching was great in that series by Toronto. They limited Boston in that series to I want to say it was 7 runs there, and took 3 of 4. So let's go to the chat here in this one now, see what you have. Toronto's gone under in 5 of their last 6. Boston's gone over in 5 of their last 6 games coming in. So Crochet against Francis, how do you do? All right. And let's go to the chat with, and there's Doubles. He says, don't forget the greatest. In fact, if you look at all the quarterbacks, right, Tom Brady accounts for most of the statistics for all those later round quarterbacks. I mean, he was just a unicorn, basically. So Doubles there, he is comparing Tom Brady. He's comparing Sanders to Tom Brady at this point. I'm kidding you, Doubles. I know what you're saying, though. Doubles is with me. We're on Team Sanders together. Nasty Nate says the Red Sox will smash in this one. Nuke says Red Sox on the run line. Luis is on the under here. And Jerry says that Jerry has the XFIP there, or some of the X numbers. Not looking good for Francis. I kind of want to take the Blue Jays here. Jermaine's on Francis. 9 Legacy says Red Sox first 5 in full game. And Trevor Davis here's on the Red Sox. All right, that might be it from you guys in there. Take a look here one more time. Trevor was on the Sox. Nobody wants the Blue Jays today, but I do. Okay, NYC Bar says Red Sox consensus. Okay, I'll move off of it. I won't take the Blue Jays here against you guys. I'm not going to go against you. Just give me the under here in this one. I kind of like the Red Sox. I mean, I kind of like the Blue Jays. I guess I'll just have to bet them privately and not tell anybody about it, as I like to say. All right, that's it from you guys. Nuke says, don't forget about Brock Purdy, a 7th-round draft choice. I think the jury's still out technically on Brock Purdy. We love him. We want him to succeed. We're still waiting. Feels like, anyway. All right. You can go down the list, though. Trust me on this, you guys. Next up, the Athletics are on the road here against the Rangers. Wait a minute. I think I have the wrong matchup there. Hold on. That was yesterday. Here we go. Diamondbacks and Mets with Erod going up against Drew Peterson. In this one, you got the Mets favorite here, $1.40 right now. The total 8.5 over at -120. With Peterson favorite at home. Hot matchup here, Arizona 15-13. Feels like they're better than that, but they had a losing streak of late until they won last game out against Atlanta. Atlanta won the series. Arizona did win, yes, on Sunday anyway, 6-4. For the Mets, they did win that series against Washington, or they split the series against Washington. They scored 19 runs yesterday in that game. Massive beatdown for the Mets yesterday on the road at Washington. They are 20-9. One of the best records, if not the best record in the league right now. They're the first team. Did anybody win? Did anybody have the race to 20? 20 wins for the New York Mets. Here they are, $1.40 or so, $1.45 right now, as I said. At some of the books. Mets come in here with Peterson. Mets are 4-1 with Peterson on the mound. He's 1-1 and 3.29 ERA coming in, 1.42 WHIP so far, and a 3.64 BABIP. Rodriguez also not great numbers, 4.4 ERA coming in, 3.46 BABIP here right now. But the widely reported steam did come in on the under in this game, despite these pitchers not with great numbers so far. You do have the Diamondbacks averaging now 5.4 runs per game. Mets are up to 4.7 runs per game now. And the Mets do have that great pitching, allowing just 3 runs per game overall coming into this one. Let's see how you guys like this one. This seems like a good series for sure with Arizona on the road. Yes, they're just a couple of games over 500. They do feel, better than that. Starting to see some division play for some of these teams, but not here. Diamondbacks on the road, out east, if you will. Peterson's gaining you a third of a unit each game so far this season, despite the fact that they are 4-1 with Peterson, not despite, but they're 4-1 with Peterson on the mound, despite the fact that he is just 1-1 overall, is what I intend to say. We'll go to the chat here in this one and see what you have here. I know what I kind of like this under despite these numbers. You got 2 left-handers going here. Let's see what you got. Jerry says, Ramon, come out of the closet, so to speak. NYC bar goes over. Jermaine's on the under, however. 9 Legacy says Diamondbacks on the money line here. Jerry says Mets and over. Trevor's on the over. And Jermaine says, look, everyone knows by now about these Mets on the these totals here. The right? Luis is on the over here as well. Mets are 4-9 to the under at home this season and on a wild run, of course. Let's see here. Twisted says he projects this total at 7.91, and he projects that the winner will be Arizona here. Thank you, Twisted, for your projections there. All right. I guess I got to make my call on this one with Arizona and the Mets here. And I am going to go under here in this one. If they're going to hang me at 8.5, I got to go under. It's juiced to the over, too. So give me the under in this one. Man, I've just went with a bunch of unders as usual. I had to get back to form here. What do I got? Man, I'm taking too many totals. I got to take some sides here. Next up, we're going with the Brewers taking on the White Sox here. You got Freddie Peralta on the mound, 2.43 ERA. And did someone mention Bryce Wilson? And why do I have Gilbert in there for the White Sox? Let me put Wilson up there. You guys already mentioned him in the chat. And you're going to have Milwaukee 240, 8 under 15 here. Milwaukee was struggling, remember, last week until they got the win over the Cardinals. They were on a losing streak, but finally won 7-1. The White Sox have, had a couple of wins here of late. They beat the A's 10-3. They beat Minnesota 3-0. Won 2 of their last 4. They've won 4 straight on the run line here right now. And, Freddie's been okay, so maybe they could do it. But it feels like the White Sox are doing a nice job here, maybe covering some run lines. White Sox, though, do come in just 7-21. Brewers 14-15. Peralta 2.43 ERA, 203 batting average against for Bryce Wilson here. He is 0-0. He is an opener, so I would imagine he will be the opener in this game. There, he usually, he's only started 1 game so far this season. This will be his second start here as an opener. He's got a 4.3 ERA, 1.8 WHIP, 344 batting average against, and a 362 BABIP. But I want to maybe trust the White Sox here. Possibly on the run line. They've been doing a nice job, but man, this feels like with Freddie's looking okay to me. And oh man, let's see what you guys have in this one. I'll listen to the chat here. And right, Jerry, because what'll happen is Gilbert will be the one probably to come in, right there. Because Wilson is the opener. Okay, Brewers first 5 for Fernando. Jerry says Brewers run line, NYC bar. Brewers money line, but Luis is on the White Sox on the run line. 9 Legacy says Brewers on the run line here in this one. And I might trust that if it was a little bit low. It feels like the price is too high, and I'm trying to get off of some of these totals here right now. I keep rolling with the totals. So, all right, man. Jermaine says it's an easy pass. You guys are right. Maybe I've had 2 rough days in a row in baseball, so I'm a little tilted. Milwaukee has won 6 straight games against the White Sox overall, including 5 straight games here. But Milwaukee is just 2-7 on the road. Their last 9 games are 5-11 on the road overall. They are 10-4 as a favorite. They're also 9-5 as a run line favorite. White Sox, they've been underdogs in every game, I believe, so far this season, and they are 15-13 on the run line so far this year. It's not an awful stat anyway, and well, when the price is 30 cents higher than it should be, I kind of feel like I want to get on the Chicago White Sox here, but man, it's just tough to do so the way things are going. So, all right, for me, I'm going to end up here. Oh man, this one I don't like at all. I don't like it. You don't like it? Give me the over in this one. I'm going to take another total. Give me the over with Milwaukee and the White Sox. All right. Trevor was on the Brewers run line. He was trying to help me out there. Jermaine says Milwaukee does have those losses. He says 0-3 interleague. I'm not quite sure what to make of that since, yeah. Okay, that's it. Let's move on. I didn't like that one. Athletics and Rangers here. Now we're getting somewhere, right? With the Athletics here with, is it Estes or is it Lopez here? I think Lopez opens for Estes is what we're looking at. A little pitcher hijinks here. All right, here we go for Lopez here. He's definitely an opener. This will be his first start. 3 games pitched so far. No ERA, but a 3.85 BABIP. So maybe he's got a little lucky there a little bit. Here's some steam coming in just moments ago. We just talked about the Milwaukee Brewers. They're getting steamed again here, and they're going to end up being upwards now of 250. It looks like once this steam starts rolling in right now, Milwaukee's taking some heavy action here apparently against the White Sox. All right, let's keep it going here right now with the Athletics taking on the Rangers here, and Jacob deGrom in this one for Jake comes in here with a 3.33 ERA 107, the whip 218 batting average against. It feels like deGrom's been fine. Yeah, we're always expecting more from him, but decent numbers despite an 0-1 record, and the Rangers 2-3 with Jake on the mound. But Rangers have lost 3 straight, including yesterday's game 2-1. Couldn't get that offense back on track. We know, man, these Rangers. Who was talking about those Rangers totals? They are 1-13 to the under at home so far this season. Every game is going under. It feels like here right now. And why wouldn't it again if you're the Texas Rangers? Yes, you're playing Oakland. Maybe Oakland's pitching is not looking that stable here with an opener today, but man, 1-13 to the under is kind of hard to buck. They are 8-21 overall to the under this season, averaging just 3 runs per game. A's come in averaging 4.2 runs per game right now. A's are hot again. They've won 4 of their last 5 games overall coming in, including yesterday's game, and they beat the White Sox 2 out of 3 for a pretty good start there. But you have Jake here at 210. And the total 8.5 here in this one, or 8. Let me fix that. 8,5. All right, so let's go to the chat and see what you guys have here between the A's and Texas. We've got, I think we're going to go back here, scroll it up. Rangers and under here for Jerry. NYC Bars on the Rangers money line. Trevor says Rangers money line. Here's Texas run line as well. And 9 Legacy says Texas first 5. Texas full game here. And this looks like a Texas. Feels like I don't think it's quite a consensus because we don't have any. Well, Rangers money line actually feels like a consensus. And that can be possible, even though they're $2 here in this one. I don't know if I trust the Rangers to, not after what I saw yesterday. I kind of want to be on the Athletics here a little bit. I think Athletics. I'm gonna take the A's on the run line myself. Didn't see the consensus there yet. Like I said, it doesn't feel like a consensus on the run line necessarily. Luis was on him, but a consensus feels like the money line. I'm taking the A's on the run line. A's are playing well. Okay, next up. And because probably going to like that total. All right, next up is the good matchup here between Detroit and the Astros. You got Reese Olson here going up against Ryan Gusto. For Gusto here, he is minus $1.10 or so, maybe up to $1.20 now. The move is clearly on the Astros here in this one with Gusto in this one. The widely reported steam did come in on the over in this game. which I don't know, might be a bit of a surprise, it feels like, uh, especially with some of the numbers that we've seen. Houston just came in off a 2-game winning streak, beat Detroit yesterday 8-5, beat the Royals on Sunday. These teams, you got Houston here 3-7 to the under in their last 10. Detroit 3-6-1 to the under in their last 10 games. For Olsen here, he's got a 3.29 ERA, 230 batting average against. Gusto 3-1 also with a 2.78 ERA, 244 batting average against, and a 312 BABIP for both of these guys, a little bit higher for sure than their ERAs. So maybe a little bit of luck, but nonetheless, here Houston taking the move against the Tigers here, who were red hot before losing that game yesterday 8-5. Detroit 18-11 coming in. Houston heating up also 15-13. Detroit is just 5-8 on the road. Meanwhile, Houston 10-6 at home so far this season. Olsen is gaining you a third of a unit per start right now. These two teams have combined 21-31 to the under. Both teams allowing just 3.3 runs per game so far this season. Go to the chat here in this one. It's going to be Fernando likes, that was on the last game. A's team total over. 9 Legacy likes the under here. Or no, Luis likes the under. 9 Legacy says Astros on the money line. Not much from the chat, it looks like here in this one. Here comes some more. It's going to be NYC Bar says, take the Astros here. And why wouldn't you? Well, Detroit's been hot too. Looking good here, obviously, with that 19-11 or 18-11 record. Pretty impressive. But Houston finally starting to heat up here a little bit. Detroit sub 500 on the road, have done most of their damage at home. I'm going to take the Houston Astros here in this one. Give me the Stros to win again here in game 2. The Braves are going to take on the Rockies in Colorado tonight. We know the story here. The Braves have totally dominated this series in Colorado. Seems like for years now, the way they're talking about it. But still, Braves minus 200 here in this one. I think Smith-Shawver is expected to pitch, although the Braves, could they have an opener here in this game? I don't think we've seen it officially just yet. Colorado's on a massive losing streak right now. Atlanta won yesterday's game 6-3. It'd be hard to think that Atlanta could win this game. Lopez, some talk that maybe Lopez in there as the opener for Smith-Shawver. Is that possibly the case here? Let's go to the comments here in the chat. Timmy Chushu has his play here. He's got the over in the Champions League game. Look, he says go over 3.5 goals in this one, taking it plus money for a high-scoring game today. Luis is on the over here with Atlanta and Colorado. NYC Bar is on the under. I'm on Atlanta on the run line here. Maybe it's square, but the price isn't horrible here for a team dominating in this series. Atlanta minus $1.35, I think, on the run line. And I'm going to take Atlanta on the run line today over Colorado. They've totally dominated this team of late. Although Colorado has technically won 2 of the last 5 meetings between the teams, but long term, it's been all Atlanta when it comes to playing here in Colorado. 9 Legacy says lay 2.5 runs. Abel says he's got the first half under in the PSG Arsenal game. We're looking forward to that one. Oh, first half under with a BTTS for the game gets you plus 200. Man, Abel, you'd think we should get even a better price than that, doesn't it? Hey, we're winding down here right now with just 3 games left on the card with the Giants taking on the Padres. I said we're getting some exciting action now in the West. Padres may have been looking ahead here past the Rays. It feels like, man, uh, look at this pitching matchup. You got Logan Webb coming in here with a 1.98 ERA in this one. You got Nick Pivetta, 1.2 ERA. What an acquisition for the Padres. How do you get a guy like Pivetta in here? 0.76 whip, 155 batting average against, and a 206 BABIP for Logan Webb, a 333 BABIP so far, but a 2 ERA. Giants are 4-2 with Webb. He's 3-1 overall coming into this one. Man, this seems like a good series here between the Padres and the Giants here tonight. Wow. How will you guys play this one here? Let's go to the chat. Padres still with some injuries. Jackson Merrill soon to return. I don't think it's yet, but I did see him taking some swings in the minor league, but he can't run right now. Here is a Giants on the money line for NYC Bar. Jermaine wants to take the Padres. Hey, thank you, Abel. Nice to see you today. 9 legacies on the Padres here. Fernando says first 5 under. And Timmy says, don't forget Webb does have some issues on the road. I think that's fair. But Padres aren't necessarily hitting, it feels like right now. Here's Luis on the under. Padres have lost 4 games in a row, season high there for that. They are 17-11. Giants have the better record now at 19-10 coming in. The Giants won that series over the Rangers at home. And there were just 12 runs scored in the 3 games between the Rangers and the Giants. 9 legacy, talking about those Padres injuries. Jackson Merrill out. Luis Ariz currently out. And that has affected their offense for sure. The Padres in their last 5 games have scored just 5 runs. How are you going to win a game like this when that's going on? Trevor says, give me the Giants on the money line. And Abel says, it's now the Dodgers and the Giants who are tied for first. Ramon, where is your Padres in third place? All right. And that makes it tough. It feels like here in this one, the widely reported steam did come in on the under in this game. All right, let's see how I'll play this one. I know what I like, but I'm going to have to. I need some premiums, and I love my totals. So, all right, game here. I'm going to take the Giants here in this one against the Padres. The Sharps are on the Padres, but they're just not hitting right now, it feels like. Jimmy Two Shoes may like a K prop here with these guys. And Jerry says, Webb's looking better maybe this year on the road. So Padres aren't showing much right now. This offense is pretty dismal here, certainly without Merrill in the lineup, it feels like. All right, that's it. I'm taking the Giants tonight. Hate to do it, but I'm just did it. All right, couple more here. How about the Angels on the road taking on the Mariners? Kokonowitz. Jack Kokonowitz on the mound here, a 5.47 ERA going up against Miller here for the Mariners. Miller has an ERA of 4.21. Both pitchers are 1-3 coming in at this point for Kokonowitz. A 291 BABIP. Miller, a 319 BABIP coming in, but the Mariners are averaging nearly 5 runs per game. The Angels just 3.7 runs per game so far. Angels also allowing 5 runs per game. Angels have lost 3 straight. They got swept out at Minnesota. Meanwhile, Seattle did win 2 of 3 against Miami, and they've been playing good of late. They're 16-12 now. Are the Mariners coming in? Angels have lost 7 of their last 10 games overall, but Seattle's just 6-10 as a run line favorite. However, the Angels are 6-12 on the run line on the road coming in. So maybe not the best situation for them coming in, but let's go ahead with the chat, see what you guys have here in this one with LA taking on the Mariners here. LA has actually won 8 of the last 9 meetings between these two teams, believe it or not. This has been a great series for the Angels. Unfortunately, the Angels have lost 7 straight games on the road overall, and Seattle's won 4 of their last uh, 5 games coming in. 6 of the last 8 meetings between these two teams have gone under, but Seattle's gone over in 7 of their last 8 and 6 of their last 7 at home. The widely reported steam did come in on the under in this game. How are you guys playing this one between the Angels and Seattle here today? I'll go to the chat and see what you guys have here between these two. Hey, Earth to Air to Billionaires here today. Hi. Here's NYC Bar on Seattle in this one. 9 Legacy likes the Mariners on the run line. And for me, I'm going over in this one with LA and Seattle. Steam came in on the under. I'm going over, believe it or not. Not chasing that steam. Give me the over here. Jerry's on Seattle and over. I kind of like the fact that the Angels have. That's amazing that they've actually won 8 of the last 9 meetings between these two teams. Overall, we fight the yawns here and get to the last game. It's the Marlins taking on the Dodgers here in this one between Sandy Alcantara going here for the Marlins here, and for the Dodgers here, you've got Matt Sauer. He is going to be here. I think the Dodgers are going to be going with Sauer here in this one today. Blake Snell has been placed on the disabled list. More injuries here in this one. So we're going to see Sauer here on the mound for the Dodgers. So, man, these Dodgers having to make some adjustments here. He actually has been on the roster already this year, and he made his major league debut last year. He was with the Royals. He pitched in 14 games. He's been a career minor leaguer, actually, here. He went to Rigetti High in Santa Maria. So, Dodgers having to scroll down here a little bit, it seems like, right now for their pitching once again. And they're going up against Sandy. So far for Sandy here, he's got an ERA of 6.56. This hasn't been a very Sandy-like, but he has pitched in a little bit of tough luck. He does have a real respectable 235 BABIP and a 218 batting average against him. 1.32 whip isn't great. 12% walks for Sandy. Dodgers have won 3 straight coming in. Beat Pittsburgh in that series 2-1 and won the first game here yesterday 7-6 in that walk-off here last night. For Miami here, they lost that series to Seattle, but still getting a nice price here. It feels like the Dodgers a $2 favorite or so. Total 8.5 under in this one. Let's go to the chat. Last game of the day. Thank you for joining me, everybody, here on the Morning Steam Show. All right. I'm going to the chat, see what you have, and this show is just about over. Thank you for joining me here today. All right, here we go. Into the chat. Final game, Marlins and Dodgers. It's going to be a lot of Dodgers here, it looks like. NYC Bar is on the Dodgers. 9 Legacies on the Dodgers run line. Abel's on the Dodgers. And Timmy Chushu likes Cal Raleigh to homer in that Mariner game. And Abel says Snell does pitch better in the second half. Maybe there, right? Could see Snell there, but man, I don't know. He needed an injection. The MRI did say no structural damage, so no return date. It feels to me like we are not going to see Blake Snell. We might not see him until the second half of the season. We might not even see him until near the end of the season right now. Marlins team total overs on autopilot here right now. They are definitely scoring some runs here in the last few games. The West Up Parlay is Betts and Pajes both to get hits tonight. Thank you, Abel. And Miami over 3.5 here, right? Good. All right. I'm going to take the Marlins here on the run line with Sandy and hope they find a way to get it done. Give me the Miami Marlins here on the run line. Jerry says Miami first 3 money line and full game over. All right, that's going to do it for the morning steam. Thanks, everybody, for a fine show. Champions League today. In that matchup, let's see if I can come up with a. I do have let's see here. Timmy Two Shoes. Marlins are the run line kings, is what he says, right? He says, I felt weird yesterday taking the Marlins on the run line against the Dodgers, and they got that grand slam, right? And then they got the run there in the top of the 9th inning. So they did hang on, and got that run line despite finally in the victory was the Dodgers 7-6. But you look at Miami so far this season on the run line, they are 15-11 as a run line underdog, and they're 0-2 as a favorite, but they are 7-5 on the run line on the road. Like I said, 15-11 as a run line underdog. Okay, that's it for the show. Thanks, everybody, for joining me here. Let me get to the promo a little bit, then we'll do the drawing. See if we do have a consensus today. Hey, you can get my best picks over at winnable.com/Ramon. Check me out over there for just 56 cents a day. You can get my best plays at winnable.com. So check me out over there today and get more plays from me here when you use the promo code STEAM at checkout. All right. Appreciate it, everybody. Let's do the drawing right now. And here we go. Didn't have that many commenters today here. Everybody's a little gun shy. Again, it feels like we have a great audience, and we've been going up on the views. So thank you very, very much. Abel says, what are the consensus plays here? Let me see if I can get these right. Yankees, Reds, Red Sox, Clippers, Toronto Maple Leafs. All right, correct me if I'm wrong there, but that's our consensus. And here we go with the drawing. We bring it up here. There we go. Let's do the drawing. Earth, Doubles, Jerry, Twisted, Old E, Nasty Nate, Timmy Two Shoe, Earth to the Billionaire, Nuke Worker, Luis is the winner. Luis is the winner. He's I think we've said it before. I think that's his own soccer team shirt, but it sure does look like Club America in a way, doesn't it? Hello, Luis. And he's got that big bun on his head, if you know what I mean. It looks like they're in that picture looks like he came in after a soccer match, put his sunglasses on, got his mug shot taken. Thank you, Luis. You are the consensus contestant here today. Thank you. That's going to do it for the Morning Steam show here on Tuesday. Really appreciate it, you guys, for bearing with me here today. And maybe I was a little tired after that, going to that show last night. Textiles, thank you. And that's it. Join Mikey Money here today at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 Pacific for pre-gaming. Mikey gets you ready for the primetime action with the games today in the NBA, NHL, and Major League Baseball. Also, join me here in just a few hours with pre-gaming. I'm sorry. yeah, right. VB MMA picks today, 12:05 Eastern, 3:05 Eastern, 12:05 Pacific time. We'll get you ready for this weekend's UFC action with that bantamweight main event between Corey Sandhagen and Davison Figueiredo. The veterans going at it, the bantamweight division, top 5 contenders in Des Moines, Iowa. This week is a good main event. VB MMA Picks is brought to you by SXBet, the world's largest blockchain betting exchange. Peer-to-peer betting is sports betting of the future. You can do it now with SXBet, the world's largest blockchain betting exchange, not available in the United States. All right, it's going to do it here for the show. Thank you very much for joining me here. Back tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern and 6 Pacific time with more Morning Steam. For the Sports Money Network, I'm Ramon Scott.
Cash, then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the Morning Steam. What? Ramon Scott. Sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the